Although, you know what drives me crazy is when I meet a Gen Zer and they're like, well, I'm on a cusp. I'm early millennial. I'm late millennial. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, we're different.
No, you're 24.
You were born with a computer in the house. Like,
you are beautiful. You are wonderful.
Yes.
You are not a
millennial. Also, don't try to be older. Stay young.
Like,
stay young.
Stay where you are. Yeah.
Look at you and your one-day hangovers.
Yeah, it's not great up here. Like,
joints.
don't worry about it. My knees make crazy sounds.
I sleep wrong and it ruins my month.
I literally have this thing now where when I roll over in the night, my back cracks. Like I get like
Ooh.
3 It feels really good, but it cannot be right.
Oh, well, it does sound like it feels amazing though. I love a good back crack.
It rocks. It's just a little disconcerting that that's like a new thing that's going on now.
Shall we dive in?
Yeah, we should probably do this thing. Let's just like do it, you know?
Let's just do it. I mean, it's going to be just more of this, so might as well.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth? All right.
Welcome to Witchcast.
'Cause it's Witchcast.
I'm Emily.
I'm Kate.
And we are your co-hosts of this, the Witchcast podcast.
That's right. that's why we are learning, growing novice witches who are interested in exploring everything under
Rascally witches.
Spiritual universe. Yeah, that was my little childhood accent coming out. I don't know what that was. No. Yeah, we're you know
you
us,
just
you
saw
love
my
us.
pale skin and said, that's white.
Oh my God.
Haven't been outside for days. Well, actually, I went outside, but it was quiet.
Honestly, girl, same. I haven't gotten off my ass in days. I just feel like I'm glued to this desk chair constantly.
I hear you. Anyway, so today we're doing a story time episode.
Story time! Whee! Sorry for the chaos. Yes,
Sorry for the chaos.
For those of you who don't know our podcast, welcome. So happy you're here. But sometimes we like to do a little fun mini, like not a mini episode, but just like a little quick story time where Emily and I each take turns telling a story that is like witchy somewhat in nature.
Yeah, we just like look into the past. What am I talking about right now? Basically, this is not one of your standard episodes where we're going to like break down, you know, things of astrology. Although actually the thing that my story time is less a story time and more something that I thought was interesting. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should say, like, we research them. it's not stories we make up. They're like ancient myths or news stories or a topic we're interested in. But yeah. Well, so Emily, do you want who went first last time?
I couldn't tell you if I tried.
Okay. Well, do you want to go? I'm interested in this topic that you want to.
Yeah, for sure. I would be delighted to dive in here. All right. So a little bit of background. I was watching, have you seen the show Moon Knight?
Yes, I have seen the show Moon Knight, yes.
Tell me you didn't also research this, but I was like, is Khonsu a real god? I've never heard
I totally went and looked up Egyptian gods after the show.
Yeah, I was like, what if this is real and like, or what of this is like actual ancient Egyptian mythology and what of this is just like shit that Marvel made up?
Right.
And so that's what I'm going to talk about today.
I'm so excited. I'm so here for this. And you and I...
Who is Khonsu and what's the deal? Like, what's the deal?
What's the deal with Khonsu? Yeah. I love it. We actually had very similar thoughts, but different.
Oh, good. All right. Nice. I'm excited to hear your thing also. So yeah, this is less a story and more of like an informative segment because I didn't know any of this stuff before and I thought you guys might also be interested. All right. So it started when I was watching Moon Knight, like I said, which was okay. I don't know that I recommend it, but it wasn't like ass-quakingly terrible.
Ass-quakingly terrible. Title, calling it
and I
right
wrote
now.
It down in my own mind. Or I wrote it down in my
so
head.
good. I'm going to say that now all the time.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, I agree. The show's fine. It's like if you're a big Marvel fan, check it out. But it's
I love Oscar Isaac, but
he did a good job.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot to carry.
Yeah, it was a lot to carry.
Anyway, so it heavily features an Egyptian god that I had never heard of before, as we just discussed. So they call him Khonsu in the show. I googled it, and I think it actually is pronounced more like Hensu or it's spelled with a K.
Oh.
Khonsu is like the primary spelling. I was trying to read the International Phonetics Alphabet bit about it. I cannot remember anything I learned in dialects class, but like in acting school, but I think I think it's like hence, or hensu,
Okay.
Khonsu. There's a lot of like, I mean, listen, this was 4,500 years ago that this name started, so like, there's probably been a lot of people who've pronounced it a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with Khonsu or Hansu, I guess. Hansu? I don't know. Honsu?
However you feel it
I'm
in
just
your
gonna
heart
feel
today.
it in my feel it in my heart. Anyway, so he is in fact a real ancient Egyptian god. He was the ancient Egyptian god of the moon, more or less, and his name loosely means like traveler or to cross, presumably because of how the moon travels across the night sky. Because of that, he's also one of the gods that marks the passage of time. All right, so here's what I learned in researching this. First of all, big thing I didn't know. The religion and like pantheon of gods in ancient Egypt wasn't like a monolith. It wasn't a singular set of beliefs or even a singular set of gods. There was a lot of overlap, but really like the stories and personalities of the gods evolved over time and also varied pretty drastically by region. So Hansu was like popular in Thebes, which is like, I think, south of Cairo by a bit. And he had like, ultimately he had temples in a few different places, but like the reason you might not have heard of him is he's like one of many gods, and like there's a lot of different creation stories. There's a lot of different like how they're all related, that like because people sort of changed. And one of the things that happened was as the religions met, like as cities got bigger, people just sort of like adjusted over time to be like, oh yeah, he's part of our myth too. Like he's actually the son of this guy.
Gotcha.
Which is why it's all kind of confusing and like not just one thing. There are definitely some major gods that are shared everywhere, but Hansu is not really one of them. Like he's in there, but he's not like,
he's like
every
cousin.
single person
yeah.
understands exactly. Like we all agree.
Yeah.
He kind of
complicated.
like combined it or with other gods, or like he like swaps around with them and that kind of thing. Anyway, so that's number one fact. And then so the earliest writings recording mythology like around ancient Egyptian gods are called the pyramid texts, and Khonsu is mentioned in those pyramid texts. I thought these were really interesting. Again, this is probably something I learned once in like 6th grade and then just never like thought about again, or like it didn't really get logged. But so, all right, the pyramid texts date to the late Old Kingdom, which is around 2700 to 2200 BC. Which, quick aside, reminds me of the mind-blowing fact that Cleopatra was alive 500 years closer to the founding of the first Pizza Hut, which was around 2,000 years after her death, than the building of the pyramids, which was 2,500 years before she was born.
Oh my god, that hurts my brain.
Right?
Go on.
The next thing I have written down is my brain hurts. Well, actually, the next thing I have written down is also Julius Caesar died before Christ was born, and Plato died like 250 years before Julius Caesar was born, so to Julius Caesar, Plato was like us thinking about like Jane Austen. Anyway, brain hurts.
Time is a flat circle.
Time is an infinite flat circle. Anyhow, the pyramid text. So as well as being our earliest known records of ancient Egyptian religion and mythology, they also contain some spells. Like a bunch of spells, as did the coffin texts, which are the next round of like historical texts that we have, which came from the following era of ancient Egypt, known as the First Intermediate Period. And so these were spells that were written inside of the pyramids and then inside of coffins themselves. And we're talking like thousands of spells. Like, I want to say the number was like 1,186 in like just the coffin texts, but it's like a shit ton of spells. Anyway, you probably know this, but the pyramids are giant tombs filled with stuff for ancient royalty to take with them to the afterlife, as well as obviously their own dead bodies and like maybe some servants, that kind of thing. And so they included these spells, which were carved into the walls, carved into the coffins, to like help see them on their way. There are a bunch of different kinds of spells in there. There's like protective ones, ritual ones, personal ones, giving the dead person like instructions for getting to the afterlife. It was really interesting. They were like, it uses a lot of different verbs. Like you could leap, you could fly, you could climb a ladder. You're gonna get there. So I thought that was pretty neat. I realized that this is a very winding road to get back to
I'm
Khonsu,
fascinated.
but I thought it was all kind of interesting. Yeah. And like stuff that I didn't even know to start engaging with, like how to understand any of the myths. So I thought we would just cover this stuff. Anyway, so I thought the most interesting kind of spell was the kind that was to turn the deceased into an Ak, AKH, which basically is like a person's soul transfigured into light and intellect as like a living entity. They believed in ancient Egypt that the soul was split across several different parts. And so when all those parts got together, that whole thing was the Ak. Interestingly, in this conception, the different soul pieces were different parts of your personality. And they could also split off into different forms after you died to like protect the people you cared for or to take revenge for you, and all sorts of stuff like that. So these spells were so that the soul could be whole and not split off and do all sorts of other things, but instead move on to the afterlife. And like, if they're judged worthy, they would get to hang out with the gods. It's all super interesting stuff. You should totally check it out, but it does not tell you more about Khonsu, who this section is loosely about. So he's mentioned in both the pyramid and coffin texts, and then way back in the D, oh, I see what I said. My own notes confused me. Okay. So he's mentioned in both the pyramid and coffin texts, and then way back in the D, during the pyramid and coffin text, he was billed as like a terrifying, bloodthirsty god who ate the hearts of other gods. And back then, he wasn't really worshipped. He was just sort of like the shitty guy at the god bachelor party.
Love it.
But then like something happened over the centuries where I guess he chilled all the way the fuck out. My personal complete conjecture is that maybe like as societies became more advanced, the moon itself got less scary, so the god of the moon got less scary, but who knows? Pure conjecture. Anyway, by the time of the New Kingdom, which is like 1570 to 1069 BC, he's got his own temples, people love him, and now instead of being like a bloodthirsty heart eater, he's like a child. And he's like taken on being the god of love and fertility, and his story starts to sound like a lot like the Horned God story, actually, where like he starts as a child, like depending on who you ask or where you are, either at the beginning of the night and becomes old at the end of it, or at the beginning of the month and is old by the end of it. So yeah, very much not what you would see in Moon Knight. I think I think probably if I were guessing, they kind of like decided to combine the two versions of Khonsu. But anyway, so his actual story. He's supposed to be the son of Amun and Mut, and he's like a little boy with some mummy wrappings, and sometimes his head is a falcon, but most of the times he's just some guy, and he kind of looks like, when he's got the falcon head, he kind of looks like Horus, but with a moon instead of a sun on his head. So the whole like long bird nose skull thing is kind of out of left field.
Gotcha.
He had a falcon head, but it was like a cute, fluffy, feathery falcon head.
Not a
like,
skull head, yeah.
Not like a horrifying, But yeah, so he got his own section of like one of the dopest temples that there is, in like Amun's giant temple. And like people, like I said, people just like loved him because it was believed that he caused the crescent moon to shine, which was like how people and wildlife became like fertile, and like he protected against wild animals. He helped with healing. And the most interesting quote I found about his vibe was, all nostrils and every throat was filled with fresh air when he did his moon thing. Obviously, last part at editor's note. But then, okay, so depending on who you are, where you are, yeah, so that's the same thing. Okay, so like he starts as a young man, he gets old, or maybe he's a strong bull at the new moon and then a neutered one at the full moon. But basically, he goes through his own monthly cycles in this new conception of him as like sort of this fertility moon god, which I thought was really interesting because I feel like, I mean, this is a broad generalization, but I feel like a lot of like fertility gods and moon gods are women.
Feminine, yeah.
Yeah, he even like has some overlap with Aphrodite, in terms of like temples and like mythology and stuff. When you like look at where they all kind of got together, you know, when things meld and just kind of, anyway, you know, cross cultural, whatever. So.
Right.
Yeah, ancientegyptonline.co.uk says, this god not only ruled the month, but was also supposed to possess absolute power over the evil spirits that infested earth, air, sea, and sky, and made themselves hostile to man, attacking his body under the forms of pains, sickness, and diseases, and produced decay and madness and death. He it was, moreover, who made plants to grow, and fruit to ripen, and animals to conceive, and to men and women he was the god of love. So, like, the time and the moon. And I think that, again, like, so if you've seen the show or if you've read the comics, you've got to assume that they decided to just kind of, like, walk the line, look at all the different versions of him and be like, here's what we want to do.
Yeah.
They also tossed an extra H in his name to make Khonsu Honshu, maybe to make it less like, well, it's not that god, it's a different thing. It's our own thing. Because their version of him is pretty scary a lot of the time, even though he's like a justice god in that. Although, and again, like not a lot of justice in any of this mythology.
Right, that's what I was thinking. And there are other gods in the Egyptian folklore mythology that are justice oriented, so it's interesting that they just picked the moon god as this one.
Yeah, isn't that, because I think they wanted to do the moon night thing and they were like, well, moons. We'll just go with the moon god and decide that he's scary, because he does have like, the boy version of him does have like mummy wrappings on him, but again, he's like a little boy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they definitely took some
like
liberties.
A falcon head. Yeah,
right.
I mean, but like you can see maybe where some of the inspo came from, but it's definitely like, yeah, he's not the plague guy. Yeah, what is that called? You know, with the long nose.
It's like the plague doctor. I don't know what it's modeled after, but maybe vultures.
Yeah. But so he's not really like that in terms of like the pantheon of Egyptian mythology. But one thing that is interesting that relates to the Moon Knight thing is that there is a myth where he goes and sees like a version of himself and they have a conversation, which is not a thing that ancient Egyptian gods typically did or could do. So he had like a manifestation of himself on Earth, and he like showed up and they had the two of them, both himself, had a conversation like about rescuing a princess or something like that. I mean, literally that's what it's like. There was a princess trapped by evil spirits or something, and they were like off to go help out.
Maybe that was like the main jumping off point of inspiration, because that definitely feels related to the show.
Right.
For
yeah,
sure.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So I thought that was all pretty neat. Anyway, he still has temples standing. If you're ever in Egypt and you want to get specific, there is a temple of Khonsu at Karnak, which was constructed during the Ramses period. It's apparently in a relatively good state, like it's pretty well preserved, and one of the walls has a creation myth in which Khonsu is described as a great snake who fertilizes the cosmic egg in the creation of the world.
Oh,
which,
damn.
You know, a lot of thought there. A lot of food for thought.
Big job.
Yeah.
It's pretty important.
Yeah. And then also his reputation as a healer spread outside of Egypt, and so there's like other stuff. You know what? We don't need to know this. It was really interesting. I thought less a story, more a little bit of information for you. Not a god with a ton of like fun myths out there to dig into, but I thought it was pretty neat. It was something I wanted to know this week, so I thought I would share it.
Thank you. That
Bing,
was
bing,
so
boom,
awesome.
story time.
No, that was really edifying. I just like came across a family tree graphic. I don't even know how accurate it was because it was on Reddit, of the Egyptian gods, and I was specifically looking for Khonsu, and because I was curious. This show definitely piqued my interest about Egyptian gods, but it's complex.
Yeah.
And like you said, seems like there's a lot of different source material.
Yeah. So that's exactly why it's always like, ooh, how does this all fit together? Is that it doesn't. It was super localized by like city and region. And like
doesn't.
and then people who got together were like, oh, okay, so your god's probably like the first cousin of my god. So like that means is his dad maybe named
Oh my gosh, it's like an Italian family reunion. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Well, also, sadly, I think I've decided for myself I will never ever go to the pyramids. One, I don't want to bring any kind of curse upon myself. I'm not interested in any of that. Like, you know, I don't want to bring any of that energy into my life. Mm-hmm. And also, I've heard that the scammers are really bad there. People are always trying to get money from you. It's a very you know.
I would love to go to Egypt.
Yes.
Probably wouldn't need to like go inside it. I mean, I don't think you're allowed inside most of the pyramids, right? Like, or if any of them.
I don't know. There must be some you're allowed to go into. There must be some that you can.
Yeah, there's probably
like
some
roped
temples
off areas
and stuff at the very least. Yeah.
I'm not into that though.
But also, like, apparently, do you know this? Like, the pyramids are like in Cairo in a way where you can see them from like you can eat dinner and look at them, like, you know.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, yeah, that's
which I would be delighted to do. Like, they're just like kind of down the river a little, so you can be like having a nice tea or something and just be like, there they are, lit up at night.
I'll do that.
Great. Check.
Exactly. It's like Eiffel Tower. I don't need to go up in it, you know?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it from the bottom. I went, tall.
Tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my friend from Paris said, "Don't you hate it? Isn't it ugly?" And I said, "Ah."
Really, your French friend thought the Eiffel Tower is ugly?
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Although, in fairness, I guess I hate all those like little cigar buildings that they've bought, or whatever they're called, the cigarette buildings that they've built in New York.
Don't even get me started on that. I will go into a really long rant. No one wants to hear. It's stupid. But like, yes, the New York City skyline is ruined.
It has
been for a long time. Yeah,
I assume that was their position. Maybe if they're, right. I've heard that from other French people that they're like, nah, the Eiffel Tower, not so great. It's like, come on.
I will say that, like, I used to hate One World Trade Center, the new World Trade Center building, but I did a video for them and I got to go up in it, and it is honestly the best view. If you are a tourist in New York or you have tourist friends coming to visit, I highly recommend doing that experience versus going up in the Empire State Building or Chrysler Building, because you get to see the skyline with the Empire State Building and Chrysler Building in it. And it's built for tourists. It has floor-to-ceiling windows. It has, like, amazing 360 views. Like, whereas, like, Empire State Building, you go up there, there's a huge fence. You can barely see over it.
Yeah, it's true. And, like, also One World Trade, like, doesn't seem to have a line most of the time. Like, I don't know.
It's big. It's built for capacity.
Yeah. Like, I went up there one time because I work in that building sometimes. I went up to the viewing floor and it was empty. It's just like me and a guy like on his laptop. I was like, cool.
He's like using it as a workspace.
Yeah, there was just a guy like doing some work up there. It's like, all right, that's different. Like,
but it's gorgeous up there. You can see Jersey. You can see everything.
The beautiful plains of New Jersey.
The beautiful horizon of New Jersey. Yep. Well, thank you, Emily. That was lovely. I learned a lot.
Thank you. All right, your turn.
Okay, my turn. Well, so I had a similar thought process, in that I also looked up ancient mythology, but this of my home country of South Korea, or Korea in general, because Korea wasn't split. Obviously, we know this. Okay. I've been reading the book Penchigo to prepare to watch the series, because I heard the series is really good, but I, of course, as a book nerd, have to read the book before I watch the show because I want it to be ruined for me. So I've been reading the book. I had a copy of the book sitting on my shelf forever, and it's so good. And of course, it got me thinking a lot about ancestry, and just kind of, it takes place, the main part I'm in at least, takes place during the occupation of Korea with Japan. And so I was like, I want to learn more, and this is something I've always wanted to learn more about Korean shamanism and magic within the Korean world, and like Korean mythology and ancient storytelling. And there's quite a lot. So I came across several different stories, but I'm going to pick one to tell today, which is Chilseong. And I'm so sorry, guys. I was adopted and raised by white people, so I'm probably mispronouncing a lot of these words. But it's the story of 7 stars. So there's a lot of folk tales, as there are in many cultures, of how things came to be or whatever, teaching lessons. And they all have something to do with a little bit of shamanism, a little bit of ancient magic. So this song is called Chilseong Puri, a shamanic myth, kind of known and told throughout the Jeolla and Cheongchang provinces. And it kind of oversees the lifespan and safety of individuals. In shamanic rituals, the myth is recited as a means to pray for health and longevity of one's children, and peace in the family and prosperity. It is not that heartwarming of a story, though. So, it's as all ancient folklore. Just brace yourself; it's rough. Just like all old stories that we know from every culture.
So many are that way, yeah.
Yeah. So, Sir Chilseong from Cheonghangung Palace, or we'll just call it from now on the Palace Under Heaven. We have this guy, Sir Chilseong, and Lady Mawe. I'm sorry, Lady Plum Blossom. We're going to call her that. They get married in the Jihagung, the palace underground, but they are childless for a long time and decide to offer up prayers to conceive, and those work. And Lady Plum Blossom gives birth to 7 sons.
Whoa.
at once.
Hey.
So Sir Chilseong is like, awesome, that's great. He rushes to her because I guess, back then they didn't know what they had until they had it, right? When he realizes that she's having whatever you call 7 kids at once. What is that called? I know it's not sextuplet.
Septuplets?
Septuplets? Yeah, either way, fucking crazy. He's quote feels disgusted and afraid, which honestly,
Fair.
fair.
In a time before like medical TV shows.
Oh my god.
My god. They keep
popping out. Exactly. So
like
he's
a clown car in there, whatever a clown car is.
I know. Which also, when I first read the story, I was like, dude, you wanted sons. Everyone wants sons, right? Like in ancient times, that's the thing. You want a son. So like, you got 7, you should feel great. But instead he's like, this is gross. Peace out. I'm going back up to the palace under heaven. So he's like kind of like a god, I guess my understanding is. He lives in the celestial kingdom. So he ascends out of there and decides to marry someone else. He marries Lady Oknyo, who is the Jade Woman, and settles down with her. And Lady Plum Blossom is all of a sudden abandoned and a single mom to 7 kids, 7 babies.
So many kids.
I know.
Too many kids, I would argue.
Yeah, too many kids. So she decides to set them adrift in the water. She's like, I'm going to abandon these kids. No thanks. But an enlightened monk appears and tells her, yo, you should raise them, like keep them, because their existence has been acknowledged by the heavens. And again, we're in ancient times, so there's literally no sense of gender parity or feminism or agency. So, keep that context in mind. So she does, and the sons grow up healthy and they start attending school in the village and they excel in their studies. But the other kids in school, of course, who are envious of them, and they're like, y'all are freaks, septuplets, we're going to tease you for also being septuplets and talented and fatherless, which kids are mean. So they make fun of them, and they come home and they ask their mom, who's my daddy? Can you please help me find our father? Help us find our father. And so she tells them that your father is Sir Chilseong of the palace under heaven. And so the brothers are like, cool, we're gonna go up there and find him. So they ascend up to the palace and search for their dad, and they have to pass a series of tests to prove to Sir Chilseong that they are his sons. So while Sir Chilseong is dealing with this like son reunion and whatever, he's not around with his Canada family with Lady Oknyo. So she, the Jade Woman, his second wife, decides that she's going to develop a scheme to kill these sons.
Oh no.
Yeah. Very like Macbethy vibes. What's that famous Greek play that Medea? Anyway, something like that. It gave me like Greek vibes. It gave me, Shakespeare vibes. So, where was I? So yeah, she decides to pretend to be sick and asks Sir Chilseong to seek out a fortune teller to help cure her disease. And then, in a Snow White twist, disguises herself as that fortune teller and tells Sir Chilseong that his wife's illness will only be cured by feeding her the livers of his 7 sons. So he's like, okay, cool, this sucks. He goes home, freaks out, he's weeping, and obviously upset. The 7 sons are like, Daddy, what's wrong? And he tells them what's going on.
Oh, God.
So when they hear about the fortune teller's instructions, these dutiful sons are like, please kill us and take our livers to save our stepmom.
Those jerks.
You two
How
can have more children.
feel about this?
I know. Like, again, as we know in ancient, in old myths and stories, especially I feel like the ones I've seen a lot of from Asian countries, it's very pro-suicide. Anyway, killing yourself for the better good, whatever. So they're like, yeah, you can have more kids, kill us, give our livers to save our sick stepmom. So he's like, okay. So he takes his sons to the mountains with a sword, ready to kill him. Again, very biblical vibes I'm getting from this too, right? Abraham, whatever. And then a doe appears, a baby, a doe? That's a female deer? Yeah, doe, a deer.
A deer, a female deer, yeah.
Yeah, so a female deer, a doe, appears and tells him, no, take the livers of my 7 fawns, and it will reveal to you what Lady Jade Woman has schemed. She's like, you've been tricked. Oh, shit. Take the livers of my babies instead.
Yeah, and everyone knows fawns can respawn their liver, maybe?
Yeah, yeah. She's like, I hated these pawn anyway.
I never wanted these shit kids.
I have 15 more.
Ungrateful pawns.
So Chilseong takes the livers of the 7 fawns to his wife, who only pretends to eat them and instead hides them. And they're like, gotcha. So Sir Chilseong and his 7 sons then kill Lady Jade Woman and descend back down to the human world to be like, hey, Lady Plum Blossom, we're back. But she's already dead because she jumped into a pond because she was in such despair that she had lost both her sons and her husband.
Oh, shit. Didn't she know they were just going to go up and
I
have a
don't know.
talk?
Couldn't they not like tell her,
boy.
like, hey, we're just going to go look for my dad, whatever. Yeah, so she offs herself, she unalives herself, and the 7 brothers acquire, though, of course, because this is a fairy tale, a resurrection flower and save their mother to reunite with their father, after which all of that, they became Chilseong, the 7 stars. So, yeah, this is all from the Encyclopedia of Korean Folk Culture from an actual Korean website.
Ooh.
So this is obviously like just a top line level of it. But in the context of Korean narratives, this myth is like a typical stepmother tale. Gyamodam, apparently that's a popular thing. And the whole revenge of the wicked lady, Oknyo, and the resurrection of the good lady, Mewa, represent the theme of punishing evil and rewarding good. Commonly found in Korean folk narrative tradition. So out of all the different shamanic myths and stories that I came across, I felt like this was the most interesting. And that's the story of the 7 stars.
Yay! And the crowd goes wild.
Thank you.
I love that. All right, do you want to draw a card? Do you want to hop right into the next thing?
Let's do it. Actually, what do you think about drawing one from my Korean deck, since we just...
I would love that. Kate.
Right?
Perfect transition.
Since I just thought of it. It was just a stroke of genius that came to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I say genius, but stroke of something.
Genius.
All right, I'm going to just fan these out and pick one.
Sick.
Because when I shuffle, I somehow ruin my cards. This one, again, so this, for those of you who haven't listened to a past episode about this is the Four Seasons Hwatu Oracle deck that Emily gave me as a wonderful gift. And they have no words on them, just images. So this is a picture of a young Korean girl in a hanbok. And she's very cute. I'll post a photo on our Instagram. And now I have to search randomly through this book to see what this means. Ooh, okay, so this card is woman. If this card comes out, it tells us that the woman is the main character. Remember that the cause of all events and works is also woman, and the person who solves them is woman. Woman has a certain amount of dignity and clothes, so she can be interpreted as a great person, a superior, and a person of decision. Also, it would be good to read cards from a woman's point of view when interpreting them in a modified way. Yeah, so again, this is translated. I mean,
I'm so sorry.
No, I love it. I mean, I wonder if this is meant, like, maybe I'm meant to read multiple cards, but we'll just go with woman for now. And I love it. And it's giving me Empress vibes. And I'm going to take it from there.
I'm feeling like it's saying, like reading between the lines. I feel like it's about, like Empress vibes. Like,
yeah. We are the main character.
We are the
cause of events and works.
We do have enough clothes, like more clothes, yeah. Good clothes that show that we have status. And dignity. Status is something to take a step back and reflect on.
Exactly. So channel that energy of
getting
woman.
shit done.
Yeah.
Getting shit done.
That is, I'm
woman,
happy with that.
From the perspective of woman. Yeah.
Woman.
We're getting to know that deck still, you know?
Yes. I need to work with it more. But I love this card. It's very pretty. I'll post a photo of it online.
Yeah, I think the art is so cool. And I love when you draw cards from there. And I do look forward to, seeing what we can learn together about that deck.
Yeah. 3 other cards fell out after I drew that woman. So I won't take the time now to go into them, but I'll maybe I'll post about it. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll post them on our Instagram, and then so you can get a little bonus extended reading.
Hey, you know what we can do?
Oh.
So we're going to be off next week, I think.
Yes.
We'll do them as a reading, maybe.
Okay.
Little interactive reading of those three cards that sprung forward, while also telling our listeners that, by the way, we're going to be off next week and just have an interactive reading.
Yes, that's a great idea. It was fated to be.
It happened. It leapt out. It needed to be heard.
Yes, so if you miss us next week, go back and listen to an old one. Or both. Look at our Instagram and we'll post a fun little interactive reading for you with my Hwatu Oracle cards.
Yay!
Yay. So you can, like I said, I'll post about this on Instagram. I'll also post some more links on both of our stories that we told today and both of our topics on our website, witchcastpodcast.com. We're on Instagram at witchcastpodcast. And if you like us, leave a little review, a little rating on
click on down to wherever you get your finest podcast.
Click
and,
on
you
down.
know,
I love that.
Hit that 5-star button.
It helps other people find us, and it means a lot to us.
Yeah, it boosts our ego and makes a difference for the pod.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And Kate, thank you for being here.
And Emily, thank you for being here and being my friend.
Pleasure. Oh, and until next time, Hex yeah! Thank you for being my friend.
'Cause it's Witchcast.